Hey guys, it's that time again now for Game 7 of the 1969 World Series. I've had fun playing all 6 games. Most of them have been very competitive and very, a lot of fun to go through, with whether it be with Strat-o-matic or payoff pitch baseball, replay baseball, status pro or history maker baseball, or the computer game Diamond Mine baseball. Done all 6 different games, 6 different World Series games within the series. Now we're at Game 7, so I've come full circle and decided that I'm going to go back to Strat-o-matic and use Strat-o-matic to play out Game 7 and see how things go. Of course, with Game 7, all hands are on deck, so bullpens could be brought in early anytime any of the pitchers start to run into trouble. So short leashes for the starters in this game for both Gil Hodges and Earl Weaver. So, without further ado, go ahead and look at the starting lineups, and they're pretty much the same as they have been a lot through the series. The Mets are using their right-handed heavy lineup against the left-handed pitching Mike Cuellar, and the Orioles are using their base lineup against right-handed pitching. So, we've got our cards all lined out. Mike Cuellar is starting. And the way I like to play Strat-o-matic is I have the starting pitcher for the home team here. I have the visiting batting team here. Then I have the visiting pitcher here, the visiting batting team here, the visiting bullpen and bench, and the home team bullpen and bench, and my dice and dice tray ready to roll. My score sheet is over here. You almost can't see it. I have to pan over a little bit. There we go. And then what I do is when the half inning is over, I just simply swap places and I'm ready to roll. I like having the batter and pitcher that are facing each other to be right there in front of me. So that's why I do that. So we are ready to roll here in Game 7 from Memorial Stadium. And I did pull out, and I do have the ballpark effects chart for 1969 Memorial Stadium. So if that comes into play, we will take care of that and use that. And also, of course, back in 69, there was no DH, so the pitchers are hitting. And both pitchers will be using batting card number 1, which is the worst rated of any card. So when it becomes their time to bat, we will pull out this card to go with that. All right, with all those festivities out of the way, we are ready to go. Opening pitch of the 1969 World Series Game 7. This is it. No more tomorrow for anybody. Mike Cuellar against Tommy Agee. The roll is a 4-8. 4-8 for Cuellar against a right-hander is a strikeout. Strikeout. So Cuellar starts out the ball game very well for the Orioles, getting that strikeout. 1 away. And now that will bring up the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. So Bud Harrelson is up. And we'll see what happens. The pitch from Cuellar. It's a 3-8, so we're off Harrelson this time against lefties. 3-8 is a ground ball, shortstop B, but nobody's on base, so it's simply a ground ball to Belanger for out number 2. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down here in the first. Cuellar is rolling along here so far. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones, he's had a good series so far. Here is the pitch. It's a 2-7, so we're off of Jones. Lefty against left-handed pitching, and we're in the blue. 2-7 is a ground ball, shortstop, A+. Plus only comes into play when the infield is in. And, of course, nobody on base, the A doesn't matter, so it's simply a ground ball to short again. So Cuellar has that ground ball working, and the Mets are 3 up, 3 down here in the first. And now we go to the bottom of the first with the score, the Mets nothing and the Orioles coming to bat. And we make the switch here, and now we have Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver is on the hill against Don Buford. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-10. 3-10, Buford against righties. 3-10 is a ground ball, second base B. course, nobody's on base, so it's simply a 4-3 ground out to Al Weiss for 1 away. And that will bring up the center fielder, Paul Blair. Paul Blair. The pitch. 1-6. 1-6 against right-handers. We've got a split chance. 1-14 is a home run. 15-20 is a double. So we roll the D20. For Blair, it is a 12. 12 for Blair. And as we said, 1-14 was a home run. He hit it with a 12. So Paul Blair has taken Tom Seaver deep for a home run to put the Orioles in the lead. They jump to an early lead. And Seaver, not happy about that pitch, let one get away from him. And Blair knew what to do with it. Here is Frank Robinson. And it's a 4-11. 4-11, so we're off of Seaver's card. The 11 is a single with the upside down triangle, so that's going to bring the ballpark effects in. The ballpark effect for Memorial Stadium with a right-handed batter is 1 through 11. So if he rolls a 1 through 11 on the D20, it'll be a base hit, and it will stick to what this is on the card, which is originally a base hit. If he rolls a 12 or higher, he is then out on a line drive to the shortstop. The roll is a 14, so that ballpark effect took the hit away. It is now a line drive to Bud Harrelson for out number 2. So Frank Robinson is out. Cost his own ballpark, cost him a hit there. Here is Boog Powell. Boog Powell. And it's a 1-5. 1-5 is a base hit, single to left field. That omega symbol there is a clutch rating and only comes into play if you're playing the super advanced and also if there's a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. That doesn't apply to any of this right now, so it's simply a base hit to left field for Boog Powell. So Boog Powell with a 2-out single, keeping things going here for Brooks Robinson. Let's see what Brooks Robinson can do against Seaver. Seaver is struggling a little bit this inning. It's a 6-8. 6-8 is a pop out to the shortstop. So Seaver gets out of it with the pop out to Bud Harrelson. But Paul Blair has put the Orioles in the lead. And after 1 inning of play here at Memorial Stadium, it is the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. And Mike Cuellar on the hill with a 1-0 lead will face the middle of the order, Don Clendenon, to start things off, the cleanup hitter. Clendenon, here's the pitch. It's a 2-9. So against lefties, 2-9 is a strikeout. 2-9 is a strikeout. So Clendenon, the whiff there, 1 away. And Ron Swoboda. Ron Swoboda is the batter. Oops, here is the pitch to Swoboda. It is a 2-10. 2-10 against lefties is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So Swoboda hits one back to the box. Cuellar fields it cleanly. Throws to Boog Powell for out number 2. So Swoboda is out and Cuellar is mowing through the Mets here. No problem. Here's Ed Charles. Ed Charles. It is a 3-10. So again, we're in left-handed against left-handed pitching. 3-10 is a ground ball to second base. So it's a ground ball to Davey Johnson, and the inning is over. So the Mets are gone, and we go to the bottom of the second. Score still Orioles 1, Mets nothing. Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver on the hill, trying to have a better second inning than he had a first inning. Facing Elrod Hendricks to lead things off. It is a 6-6. So on Seaver, Hendricks is a left-handed batter, 6-6. Ground ball, second base. So we don't need the A because nobody's on base. It is simply a ground ball to Al Weiss. 1 away, and that'll bring up Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson. In case somebody's wondering, I'm playing the advanced rules only, no super advanced, just advanced. The ballpark effects could be considered super advanced, I guess, But as far as like steals and errors, I'm just doing advanced, not the super advanced. Okay, that's out of the way. Davey Johnson. It is a 6-10. So on Seaver, 6-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. All right, first chance to use the X chart with the shortstop. And the shortstop is Bud Harrelson in this case. And Bud Harrelson is an E2. He is an E2. Oh, he's got a factor of 2 for range, I should say, not error. But his range factor is 2, so we'll check that first with a D20. And that's a 2. And so if we come up here to the shortstop, 2-2 is a single. So it is a single. So therefore, Davey Johnson was able to get it by Bud Harrelson. And that is a 1-out single for Davey Johnson. And that will bring up Mark Belanger. Mark Belanger, the batter. And it's a 1-5. So Belanger, 1-5 against right-handers is a single to right field. A single to right field. Davey Johnson has the option of trying to go to third base because there are no stars. It just says single to right. If we wanted to try to send him, he is a 1 through 13 runner. He was being held on, so it'll be 1 to 11. And then the right fielder, Swoboda, have to go by his throwing arm. And Swoboda is a neutral. He's 0. So it'll be a 1 through 13. They could try it, but with 1 out, I think they're going to keep him at second base. So runners are at first and second with 1 out. And the pitcher is up now, Mike Cuellar. So we retrieve the pitcher hitting card, pitcher number 1. And could there possibly be a bunt in the offering? I think, well, Earl Weaver just doesn't bunt, so we'll let Cuellar hit. Okay, it's a 4-8. So against Seaver, a 4-8 is a split chance. 1 to 3 for a single, 4 to 20 he lines out to first. So the D20 will tell us the Mets want anything above a 3. It's a 15, so it is a line out by Cuellar to Clendenon for out number 2. Runner still at first and second. And that will bring up Don Buford, the leadoff hitter, or the top of the order, Don Buford. He grounded to second his first time up. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-6. 3-6 is a walk. 3-6 is a walk for Buford against Seaver. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. And who is up to the plate? None other than Paul Blair, who homered his first time up. Seaver's going to have to be careful here. Blair not really known all that well for his power, I don't think. Let's see here. How many home runs did he hit? Well, no, he hit 26 home runs on the year, so he is a power hitter, no doubt about that. So, the dangerous Blair is up against Seaver. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. It's a 3-10, so we're off Blair's card. But a 3-10 is a fly ball center field. B. So the question mark there, if there were less than 2 outs, you would have a chance for a sac fly. But with that being out number 3, it doesn't matter. The inning is over. He flies to Agee. And nothing doing for the Orioles. So after 2 complete from Memorial Stadium, it is the Mets trailing the Orioles still by the score of 1-0. Bottom third of the order, Jerry Grody. Jerry Grody against Cuellar. It is a 6-7. So we're off Cuellar's card. A 7 is a GB ground ball second base X. So we're going to check Davey Johnson and see about his range. And Davey Johnson's range, he is a 2 with an error rating of 14. So he's a 2. That's the main number to know, 2. So we're going to roll a D20 and then compare it to a 2 rating. The roll is a 16. So we go to the second base chart, number 2. Whoops, let me get there. We go. 2, 6. Scroll down to 16. It is a ground ball A. So ground ball. Johnson handles it, no problem. 1 away. So Grody is dispatched, and that will bring up the number 8 hitter, Al Weiss. Light hitting Al Weiss. And the Mets have yet to get the ball out of the infield. Weiss, a 3-6. 3-6 is a strikeout. So Cuellar, dominant early on with the strikeout. There are quickly 2 outs and nobody on. And Tom Seaver is up to the plate. And of course we bring out pitcher hitting card number 1 again for Seaver. And here is Cuellar's delivery to Seaver. It is a 5-9. So against right-handers, a chance for a hit here. Seaver is a weak hitter, so he would not get a home run. He would just get a hit. But he could get a hit, or if it's a 6-20, he'll fly out. So the D20 will let us know. D20 will let us know. 6-20, he is out. And he is out. It's a 6. He barely is out, but he's out. So it's a fly ball to left field. Cuellar still perfect through 3 innings. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is still the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. And Frank Robinson is due up to start off the bottom of the 3rd. He lined to short his first time up. Here's the pitch from Seaver. It is a 4-12, so we go to Seaver's card. 4-12, ground ball first base X. All right, the first baseman range is Don Clendenon, who is not known for his fielding. He's more of a slugger. He has a 3, well, that's about average range, a 3, and then an E23 if it gets to that. But we're concentrating on the number 3 because that's going to determine range. All right, there's the result. It's a 2. That's not good. So first baseman, number 3, and a split of 2 is a single. Star, but nobody's on base, so it's just simply a single for Frank Robinson. And he starts out the bottom of the 3rd with the base hit. And Seaver cannot get a 1-2-3 inning so far. He's struggling every inning. This brings up Boog Powell, big power hitter, big Boog. It is a 5-7 against left-handed pitching. 5-7 is a strikeout. There is a dot there, but that's only if Seaver has reached his point of weakness, and we're only in the 3rd inning, so he has not. It is a strikeout. So Seaver rears back and blows one by Boog Powell for out number 1, and that brings up Brooks Robinson. He popped up to Bud Harrelson his first time up. It is a 5-5. So we go to the pitcher card, Seaver, 5-5. We've got a split chance, 1-7 for a single, 8-20 for a line out to short. So Brooks wants a 1-7 if he can get it. He does not. It's a line out to shortstop Bud Harrelson for out number 2. And Frank Robinson still sitting on first base with 2 outs for the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. 2 outs and 2 outs and Frank Robinson on first. It is 5-8. So Seaver against the lefty, 5-8 as a ground ball second base X. So we're going to check Al Weiss. Al Weiss is a 2 for his range. E31, that's not too good, so hopefully he gets it on the range. But he's a range of 2, so he has good range. So we're going to check the 2 rating against the D20 roll. And the D20 roll is a 1. That's not good at all. A 2 with a 1 result is a single star, just 1 star. So it's just 1 base advancement for Frank Robinson. He will stop at second base. Hendricks with a 2-out single puts runners at first and second. D20 is not being kind necessarily to the Mets so far. That'll bring up Davey Johnson with 2 outs and 2 on. Davey Johnson. It is a 3-3. 3-3 is off Johnson's card. It is a ground ball shortstop B. Now there are 2 outs, so it doesn't really matter. But technically, ground ball shortstop B when there is a runner on base. Ground ball, shortstop B is the batter is out at first and runners advance. So, I'm sorry, batter out at first. If runners are forced, runner on first is out, batter is safe. So it's technically a fielder's choice. Let me take that back. It's technically a fielder's choice. So if I was technically keeping score on this, Johnson would reach on a fielder's choice, and Hendricks would be out. Hendricks would be out 6-4 on the fielder's choice to end the inning. Either way, it's no runs coming across for the Orioles. So we played 3 here at Memorial Stadium in Game 7 of the '69 World Series. And after those 3 innings, it is still the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. Mike Cuellar dealing in the first 3 innings. Now we're back to the top of the order, and Tommy Agee. He struck out his first time up. So let's see what he does this time. It's a 5-3. So Cuellar against right-handers, a 5-3. Is a ground ball, first base X. So we're going to check Boog Powell and check his rating, range rating. Boog Powell is a 3. He's pretty average. And the E8. So 3 is the main number we're focused on. And you want a higher number on this D20 if possible. Let's see. He gets it at 18. So first base, rating of 3, number 18 is a ground ball B. But no one's on base, so it's simply a ground ball to Boog Powell. He handles it himself. 1 down. Agee is retired, and that'll bring up Bud Harrelson. So Bud Harrelson is up to the plate. Move that D20 out of the way. All right, Bud Harrelson. It's a 2-8. 2-8 against the right-hander is a ground ball to shortstop. So Harrelson grounds out to his counterpart, Mark Belanger, for out number 2. And that'll bring up Cleon Jones, the left fielder. He grounded to Belanger his first time as well. So let's see what happens this time. Cuellar dishing to Jones. It's a 4-10, so we're off the pitcher card. Right-hander batter, 4-10. 4-10 is a strikeout. So Cuellar puts the K on Cleon to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Still nothing doing for the Mets. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. It is still the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. And as we switch places here, Seaver will reassume his spot on the mound, and he'll be facing Mark Belanger. Belanger singled his first time up, then was stranded at second base. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-12. 1-12 is hit by pitch plus injury. Hit by pitch plus injury. So I normally don't play injury in this game because most times I'm playing just a single game like this. I'm playing a as-played lineup, so I don't do injuries. So I'm going to, but I might do it this time since it's a Game 7. It sounds like it probably should. I should use the injury factor on this. So I'm going to pause the video and check out the injury status of Mark Belanger, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and we're going to check on Mark Belanger here. The basic injury chart is right here, and we're going to roll a D20. And it will determine whether or not he remains in the game or has to leave the game. So we'll see here. The D20 will determine Belanger's fate. And Bobby Floyd is loosening up on the sidelines for the Orioles in case Belanger is hurt. The roll is an 11. And 11 states batter is injured for 2 games only. Well, we're only playing Game 7, so it doesn't matter. So Belanger is out of there. He is hit by the pitch and will have to be removed. And we will bring in Bobby Floyd. So Bobby Floyd will come on. Or actually, I take that back. We're not going to use Bobby Floyd. We're going to use Chico Simone. Chico Simone is actually going to be the new Oriole shortstop. Chico Simone. Don't know where the man is, but Chico's right here. Remembers that old show, Chico and the Man. Okay, so Chico Simone will take over running at first base for the injured Belanger. and he will stay in the game to play shortstop, starting the 5th inning. All right, so we're all set there. And again, Seaver cannot get a 1-2-3 inning, it seems like. So now we've got, with Belanger on, or hurt, and Simone on first base, we're to the pitcher spot, Jim Palmer. So we're going to go to the sacrifice chart. This time Weaver will sacrifice with a pitcher batting. So the sacrifice chart, we're going to go to the advanced sacrifice chart. And let's look at, not Palmer, I keep saying Palmer, it's Cuellar. Cuellar batting, he's a bunting A. This time we do look at his card, not the generic pitcher card for the bunt rating. So the bunt rating for Cuellar is an A. So he's got a good chance to do it. We're on the advanced strategy chart for sacrifice bunts. Column A, which is the best column. We're going to roll 2 D6s and see what happens. On this bunt attempt, it is an 8. So we go to column A, number 8. Batter is thrown out by first baseman. Runners advance 1 base. So he bunted it. Clendenon fielded it and threw it to Weiss, who was covering. So it's a sacrifice hit. Scored 3-4. 1 away, and Simone takes second base with 1 out. So he is in scoring position. Back to the top of the order, Don Buford. Buford against Seaver. It's a 5-5. And Seaver, left-handed batter in the blue, 5-5, is a strikeout. We got the dot again, but still only the 4th inning, so no ineffectiveness there for Seaver due to fatigue, so it is a strikeout. So Buford is a strikeout victim. 2 down, and back to Paul Blair. Of course, he homered in the 1st and has flied to AG in the 3rd. In the 2nd. So here is Blair with 2 outs and Simone at second. It's a 6-8. Seaver, 6. 8 is a pop out to the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. So Blair pops to short. The inning is over with nothing doing. We go to the 5th. The score, the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. Cuellar back out to the bump. And heart of the order for the Mets, Don Clendenon to start things off. He struck out his first time up. Cuellar, 112. 112 for Clendenon against lefties is a hit by pitch. So you wonder there whether Cuellar was retaliating a little bit for the hit batter Belanger. Clendenon no worse for the wear. He will go down to first. So the first base runner of the game for the Mets off of that plunk of Clendenon. And now here is Swoboda. Swoboda is up against Cuellar. It is a 3-7. So against lefties, 3-7 is a ground ball, second base A. The infield is not in, so the plus doesn't matter because they were at double play depth, and that's exactly what they get on a ground ball A. That is a double play. 4-6-3, and just like that, both base runners, the base runner and the batter, are eliminated. Quickly, 2 outs. Bases are clean now, and Ed Charles, the batter. Ed Charles grounded to Davey Johnson his first time up. Mets still don't. Seaver is the only batter that's put a ball in the outfield. That's pretty sad. The pitcher's the only one that made it to the outfield so far. Here's Charles. It's a 4-10. 4-10 is a strikeout. So Ed Charles out on strikes. Inning over. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with the scores still the same. The Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. Pitching duel here in Game 7. All right, Tom Seaver working against Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson singled his last time up. Here is the delivery. It's a 4-5. 4-5. Oh, we got danger here if you're Seaver. It's a split chance. 1-9 for a home run. 10-20 is a fly ball to left. So we're looking to that D20 again. Anything 9 or below, it's a home run. Anything else, it's a fly out. It is a 13. So fortunately for Seaver, Frank Robinson missed that pitch and flied to left. Got up under it a little bit. Cleon Jones hauls it in, one away. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Boog Powell. He has singled and struck out in this game. So Powell, the batter, base is empty, one out. It's a 6-6. So under Seaver, 6-6 is a ground ball to second base. So Boog Powell pulls a grounder to Al Weiss. There are now 2 outs. And that'll bring up Brooks Robinson. With 2 outs and the base is empty, he has popped to short and lined to short, so he has kept Bud Harrelson busy. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-11. A 3-11. This time he grounds to Clendenon for the final out. So nothing doing for the Orioles. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 5 complete. And the score from Memorial Stadium is still the Orioles 1 and the Mets nothing. Mike Cuellar still dealing. And here is Jerry Grody to start things off. Grody grounded to Davey Johnson his first time up. Grody, a 2-3 against lefties, is a ground ball to the third baseman, Brooks Robinson. So he is out 5-3. And there's one away. And that will bring up second baseman, Al Weiss. Al Weiss, a pitch. It is a 3-10. 3-10 against lefties is a potential single or a line out to second. Split chance, 1-14 is a base hit. 15 and higher is a line out. Here is the D20. It's a 10, so that is a base hit, and the no-hitter is gone. Al Weiss breaks up the no-hitter with 1 out here in the 6th, and he is aboard. He is aboard. That now will bring up the pitcher spot, Tom Seaver, with 1 out, and Gil Hodges is going to go ahead and have Seaver bunt, so we won't need this card after all. Seaver's bunt rating, he is a B. So we're going to go back to the advanced bunt chart and look in column B. Roll the 2 D6s and get a number. And that number is 11. So we get a B and 11. Batter pops out to first base. Runners hold. So Seaver, unable to get the bunt down, he pops it up to Boog Powell at first base for out number 2. Weiss getting back to the bag, not being doubled off. So he is at first base with 2 outs, back to the top of the order, and Tommy Agee. Agee has struck out and grounded to first. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-5. 5-5 is a walk. So Cuellar walks Agee. And that puts runners at first and second now, as Weiss will move up to second base. So first and second for Bud Harrelson. I've got Hawk Harrelson on the brain. Bud Harrelson. Bud Harrelson is up. 2 on, 2 out. Orioles lead 1-0. Here's Cuellar to Harrelson. It is a 5-3. 5-3 is a ground ball first base X. So again, we're going to be checking the range of Boog Powell, which is a 3. He's average. So we're going to check the D20 and see what he can do here as far as trying to field this ball. It is a 4. So we go to the first base chart, number 3. Scroll down to a 4, and that is a base hit. So Powell not able to get to that one, and Harrelson delivers a base hit to right field. Now with 2 outs, we're going to see whether Weiss can score or not. So I'm going to put a pause here and tally up the percentages, and then we'll see what Gil Hodges wants to do. Okay, so the calculations are in. Al Weiss, who was on second base, he was being held, so that knocks him down from a 15 to a 13. Frank Robinson is actually a +1 throwing arm, so that bumps him up to a 14. And the fact that there are 2 outs bumps him up to a 16. So we've got a 1 through 16 for Weiss to be safe at the plate. Those are good enough odds for Gil Hodges, so he's going to send Weiss to the plate. And here is the D20. It's 11. He's safe. We now have a tie ball game on the RBI single by Bud Harrelson. Agee is going to actually stop at second base because he didn't know if the throw was coming home or going to be cut. So he will actually stop at second base. But Al Weiss will score. We have a tie ball game, 1-1. And the Mets have new life now with Cleon Jones at the plate. 2 on still and 2 outs for Cleon Jones. And the pitch. It's a 2-6 against lefties. Is a ground ball to short. Inning is over. Technically it's a fielder's choice, so that's what I'll call it, 6-4. And the Mets pick up a run on the Bud Harrelson 2-out RBI single. And after 5.5 innings from Memorial Stadium, we are tied at 1-1. So Tom Seaver getting new life with that run to tie the game, and Elrod Hendricks to lead things off. The pitch is a 6-7. So on Seaver, 6, left-hander 7 is a strikeout. So Seaver really getting new life here. He comes in and puts the K on Elrod Hendricks. That'll bring up Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson is up. The pitch is a 6-11. 6-11 is a fly ball right field X. So we're going to check the range of right fielder Ron Swoboda. He is a 3, which is about average. So we'll check the D20. And the D20 is a 6. So we check the advanced chart for left and right fielders. He is a 3. The roll was a 6. It is therefore a single. And it would be star, but nobody's on base. So Davey Johnson able to single and Swoboda unable to get it. So Johnson's aboard. And again, Seaver cannot get a 1-2-3 inning going. And now that'll bring up Chico Simone. He came in and replaced Belanger when he was injured on the hit batsman. So Simone, his first at bat. It's a 1-9. And a 1-9 is a ballpark check. That's what the diamond is there for. So we got a ballpark check. And if he's able to get it, Simone is normal against right-handed pitching. He'd be weak against lefties, but against righties, he's normal. So if it says he gets a home run, he gets a home run. So we go to Memorial Stadium, the home run chart. Now Chico Simone is a right-handed batter. So for the Orioles here, the ballpark home run effect, Memorial Stadium, is a 1-7. So originally it said here that the home run chance was 1-16. Memorial Stadium has dropped that down to a 1-7. So Simone would need a 1-7 in order for it to be a home run. Let's see what he can do. It is a 17, so he wouldn't have got it either way. Instead, it is a fly ball to left field. And even had he not had the ballpark effect, his number only went to 16. So the 17 would have been a fly to left anyway. So there's 2 away. 2 down, and runner still at first base, Davey Johnson. And that brings up the pitcher, Mike Cuellar. And with 2 outs, they're going to go ahead and let Cuellar hit. And he's using hitting card number 1, Seaver. It's a 2-9. So a 2-9 is a ground ball first base. So ground ball first base A. Clendenon will take it to the bag himself, and the inning is over. So we played 6 complete here at Memorial Stadium, and nothing's been settled as of yet. Score is the Mets 1 and the Orioles 1. Okay, the point of weakness for pitching, Mike Cuellar is a 9 and Seaver is an 8. So fatigue-wise, won't be a problem. It's just going to be if they get into trouble that the bullpens will come into play. But they're the aces of their staff, of each of the staffs. So the managers are going to have more leeway and have a longer leash for them. So we'll see what happens here. Top of the 7th, Don Clendenon. He was plunked last time in possible retaliation for the hit batsman on Belanger. And his first time at bat, he struck out. So he struck out and been hit by a pitch. So here's the delivery from Cuellar. It is a 5-4 against righty. It's a catcher X. So we're going to check Elrod Hendricks. Check his range. He is a 4, so not very good range there for Elrod. He's a 4, and his error range is only a 1, but his range is not very good. So we're going to check the D20, and it's a 4, don't forget. So the result here is an 11. So we're going to go to an 11 on the catcher card, a number 4, and we're going to scroll down, and 11 is actually out of range. You see, there's nothing there between 9 and 12. And it says here, roll dice on splits 9 to 12. So that means we're going to go to the error chart. He is an E1. He is an E1. So the only possible error he can make is if he rolls a 2 or a 3 on 2 D6s. So as long as this is not a roll of a 2 or a 3, he has made the play. And it is a 10. So he did make the play. 10 is a ground ball to C, but the bases are empty, so it doesn't matter. So it's a ground out in front of the plate, pounced on by Elrod Hendricks, throws to Boog Powell, and Clendenon is gone. So there's one away, and that'll bring up Ron Swoboda. Swoboda is grounded to Powell, and he grounded to Belanger for a double play, his 2 times up. It's a 1-10 against left-handed pitching, and that's a split chance. 1 to 13 is a double, 14 to 20 is a single. So D20 time again. Swoboda looking for that 13 or less. And he gets it. It's a 12. So Ron Swoboda, it's a 1-out double. And now the Mets have something going here in the top of the 7th. And that will bring up third baseman Ed Charles. Charles has grounded to second and struck out. But now he's got a runner at second with 1 out. And the pitch is a 4-5. 4-5 is a strikeout. 4-5 is a strikeout. So Charles strikes out again. Now there are 2 outs, and Jerry Grody with a chance for a 2-out RBI. And this is where, if you're playing the super advanced game, the omega ratings of clutch would come in, because you have runner at second and 2 outs. But we're not doing that. We're just doing the regular advanced rules. So Jerry Grody against Cuellar. Here's the pitch. It is a 4-7. 4-7 is a strikeout. So Cuellar was clutch, striking out the last 2 batters he faced. 7th inning stretch time here at Memorial Stadium. With the score, the Mets won and the Orioles won. And I'm going to stretch and be right back. Okay, we're back. I really didn't stretch. I just took a sip of something to drink. Getting a little dry throat. So now, we're back to the top of the order. Don Buford will step in against Seaver to start the 7th. And the pitch, it's a 6-3 for Seaver against Buford, who's a switch hitter, who makes him a left-handed hitter. So that's a fly ball left field X. So we're going to check Cleon Jones and check his range rating. And Cleon Jones's range rating is a 2. And he's also an E3, but 2 is the main number we're looking for and concerned about. So D20 time again. He is a 2, so higher numbers usually are good for the outfielders. It is a 9, because that dot is underneath there. There we go. That's a 9. I'm sorry, I just messed that up. That's a 9. So left fielder with a number 2 rating. A 9 is out of range because it goes 8 to 13. We're going to have to check his error rating. So that was out of range. So we're not going to check his range rating. We're going to check his error rating, which is an E3. And we're going to roll the 2 D6s. And his error rating is a 3. And a snake eyes. So how about that? So I'm going to roll the white die since I did a snake eyes just in case. It's a 2. Okay, don't know if we'll need it, but I'll do it anyway. All right, so we've got left fielder Cleon Jones, an E3 rating, and we rolled a 2. And by rolling a 2, it says that is a 3-base error unless the white die is a 4 to 6. If the white die is a 4 to 6, it's actually a fly ball. But according to this, the white die is a 2, so it falls in the error range, and that is an E3. That is a 3-base error. A 3-base error. So, all kinds of trouble out there for Cleon Jones. He must have tried to do something spectacular and couldn't do it, and Buford motored all the way around to third. And that's going to really put a bind for the Mets, as now they have to bring the infield in. The infield is now in, and Paul Blair is the batter. And we know Paul Blair is a dangerous batter indeed. So, the Mets now have their bullpen up. Ron Taylor, their closer, and Nolan Ryan. They have two. Actually, it's Nolan Ryan, not Taylor. It's Nolan Ryan. A little early for Taylor. So, Nolan Ryan is going to be up now. And like I said, Paul Blair is up with nobody out. Runner at third. Infield is obviously in. That brings those plus ratings into play. If we get a result such as this one with the plus, then that's going to get through a drawn-in infield. So we shall see. Blair against Seaver, who has to bear down. It's a 4-7. A 4-7. Well, it's a potential split. 1-4 is a double. And anything else is a fly ball to center field B. And the B on an outfield result, in case there is an out, runner on third scores, others hold. So it would be a sacrifice fly. It's either going to be a double or a sacrifice fly, depending on the situation here. Again, the 4-7. So it's either going to be a double or it's going to be a sacrifice fly to center field, depending on the D20. It is an 11, so that is a sacrifice fly by Paul Blair. He flies out deep to Agee. That will bring home an unearned run, but the Orioles don't care. Buford scores, and the Orioles now take a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the seventh. And Cleon Jones still kicking himself for that. But that's the way things go. Here is Frank Robinson. Base is empty now and 1 out. And that is a 6-3. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. So we're back to Cleon Jones again. He gets a reprieve here. His range rating, of course, again, is a 2. So let's see what happens here. It's a 15. So a 2 and a 15 for a left fielder. 2 or 15. 2 with the range. 15 is, this time it's the fly ball C. So this time he does make the play. 2 down. And that will bring up first baseman Boog Powell with 2 outs and the base is empty. And Seaver, knowing his defense let him down. Here is Powell. And the result is a 4-8. Against lefties, 4-8 is a potential single, 1-3. Anything else is a line out to first. So we'll check the D20. As long as it's higher than 3, he's out. It is not, it's a 1. So that is a base hit for Boog Powell. And D20 continues to go in the Orioles' favor a lot of times. So Boog Powell with a 2-out single. And that will bring up Brooks Robinson. Seaver is scheduled to bat second next inning, so this is probably his last batter to face. He'll get pinch hit for in the top of the 8th. Here is Brooks. It is a 3-3. And a 3-3 is showing as a single to left, but the ballpark quality upside down triangle is going to come into play and check that. So our ballpark is 1-11 for Memorial Stadium. So the single is 1-11. Without that, he would get a guaranteed single, but this time he has to roll a 1 through an 11 on a D20 to get that single. And he does. It's a 10, so he does get the single. It's a single to left. So lumbering Boog Powell is going to have to hold at second base. There's no way he's going an extra base. So there's 2 on, 2 outs. And Seaver trying to hold on here so they can pinch hit for him in the top of the inning. Elrod Hendricks, the batter, trying to hold on and not give up any more runs. Here is the pitch. It's a 2-7. 2-7 is a split chance. 1 to 10 for a single. Anything else is a line out to second. So the D20 factors in again. It's a 6. It is a base hit. But it's a 1 star, so Boog Powell will not be able to score. He will stop at third base. And now the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. And that may be it for Seaver. He is struggling a little bit. So we will take a break in the action, bring in the new pitcher, and get all the details in just a moment. Okay, Gil Hodges has pulled the proverbial double switch with the pitcher hitting second, scheduled to hit second next inning. He has brought in reliever Ron Taylor, but Ron Taylor is going to hit in the 6th position as the new third baseman, Wayne Garrett, has come on. Wayne Garrett, he will hit in the 9 spot, and Taylor will hit in Ed Charles's vacated spot. Double switch has been done. Then we're going to bring in Nolan Ryan, but with the bases loaded, they can't afford a walk, and Ryan has a tendency to walk batters, so Ron Taylor, it's do or die. They cannot give up any more runs, so they're bringing their closer in right now to shut the door and keep things where it is. Davey Johnson, the batter, all important against Ron Taylor. It's a 2-12. 2-12 is a ground ball, second base A, so the inning is over. Ron Taylor pitches out of it, but the Orioles do pick up that unearned run on the 3-base error by Cleon Jones. And after 7 complete from Memorial Stadium, it is the Orioles 2 and the Mets 1. Okay, Cuellar to start the 8th, facing Al Weiss, and then Wayne Garrett, and then Tommy Agee. Here is Weiss. Weiss, a 6-7. 6-7 is a ground ball, second base X, so we're going to check Davey Johnson and check his range rating. And for Davey Johnson, his range rating will be a 2. He's got a 2 range rating and a 14 error rating. So it's a 2 that we're concerned about. Roll the D20. It is a 14, and a 2 range with a 14 is a ground ball C. So Davey Johnson made the play. 1 away here to start the top of the 8th. And now that'll bring up Wayne Garrett, who came in on as part of the double switch. Wayne Garrett stepping to the plate against Cuellar. And the pitch is 3-5. 3-5 against lefties. He struck out. So Wayne Garrett out on strikes. 2 down. And that'll bring up Tommy Agee. 2 outs and the base is empty. The pitch from Cuellar is a 3-5. 3-5 is another strikeout. So Cuellar strikes out Agee. To end the inning, we go to the bottom of the 8th with the score still, the Orioles 2 and the Mets 1. And Taylor still in there trying to keep the Orioles right where they are. Chico Simone steps up to the plate. He fly to the left his only time up. It's a 2-11. 2-11 is a ground ball to shortstop B. So it's a ground ball to Bud Harrelson. There is 1 away. And now the decision time. Do we pinch hit? Does Earl Weaver pinch hit for Cuellar? Because he will reach his point of weakness here very shortly. And they do have a good closer in the bullpen in Eddie Watt. So although by bringing Eddie Watt in, that will bring in some of the left-handed pinch hitters off the Met bench. But we're going to go ahead and do that. And Cuellar will be lifted. Gets a nice round of applause from the home fans. And pinch hitting time for the Orioles. And it will be Dave May. Left-handed hitting Dave May. So Dave May is in there. He will pinch hit for Cuellar here in the 8th inning. See what he can do. Dave May against Ron Taylor. It is a 2-4. 2-4, he struck out. So Dave May did not do anything as a pinch hitter. He struck out. Out number 2 for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 8th. Don Buford back up against Taylor. It is a 2-4. 2-4 is a ground ball to second base. So the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Mets in Game 7 of the '69 World Series. It is the Orioles 2 and the Mets 1. Okay, Eddie Watt is on to try to close the deal for the Orioles in the ninth, and second guessing can begin on Earl Weaver here. Closed the book on Cuellar, 8 innings, only 3 hits allowed, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 9. But they're going to turn it over to Eddie Watt, and now Gil Hodges is going to send his parade of left-handed pinch hitters to the plate. Starting off with Ken Boswell. He's going to pinch hit for Ken Harrelson here in the ninth. He is a better hitter than Harrelson, so he's going to see if he can't get some offense going here. Boswell against Watt. It is a 6-9. 6-9 against lefties as a ground ball to shortstop X. We're going to check Belanger. I'm sorry, not Belanger, because he was hurt. It's actually Chico Simone. He is only a 4. So Chico Simone, not a very good fielder. The 4 rating. It's a 16 on the D20, so that might help him out. And it does. A 4 rating at shortstop with a 16 is a ground ball C. So the D20 was kind to Chico Simone there. And Boswell is out 6-3 in the pinch hitting performance there. And now, stepping to the plate is Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones, see what he can do. One swing of the bat can tie the ball game. Here is the pitch. It is a 1-7. 1-7. 1-7 is a walk. So Cleon Jones has drawn a 1-out walk. Cleon Jones has drawn a 1-out walk. He's a decent base stealer, but you hate to have a guy thrown out like that. Clendenon is up, and there's a potential here for a pinch hitter, Ed Kranepool, but I think we're going to stick with Clendenon. He's got a very good column 1 here, a couple of home runs. So we're going to stick with Clendenon and see what he can do here against Eddie Watt. It's a 2-4. 2-4 is a ground ball shortstop A. That is a double play, 6-4-3. And the ball game is over. The Orioles have won the 1969 Replay World Series over 6 different board games by the final score of 2-1. 2-1 in a Donnybrook pitching duel. Cuellar besting Seaver. Now, second guessers on that. The 2-4 was the result. Had we pinch hit with Art Shamsky, say, second, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. Art Shamsky would have hit a home run on a pinch hit, but Kranepool was the person I was thinking about. So Kranepool in a 2-4 would have fouled out to the catcher, and the game would still be going. And Shamsky would probably pinch hit for Swoboda. But Clendenon, like I said, he has a home run here and a home run here. So they stuck with him, and he managed to find his double play ground out slot, unfortunately for the Mets, fortunately for the Orioles. So it's been a fun series, guys. I had a blast doing it, and I hope you guys enjoyed following it. And haven't really done one of those where I played out a whole World Series before, particularly not on different board games and gaming products. So this was a new one for me. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Fortunately, I think most of the games were pretty close and down to the wire, which helped when making videos. You don't want people to tune out after 2 innings when the game's over, much like my Bartman video where the game was pretty much over in the 5th inning. But that being said, I did enjoy it, like I said, and I think Payoff Pitch is still my #1 game, but Strat-o-matic is like 1A and 1B because they're both right there together for realism and particularly the left-right splits and so forth. And it's just the ease of play. Payoff Pitch I like for the fast action cards, and Strat-o-matic I like for the rolling the dice. So, and the D20, that's always a interesting thing too, because the D20 can help you or it can break your heart. So anyway, that's it from here. Hope everybody has a wonderful and safe new year. And that's all from here. Final, once again, The Orioles win the World Series by the final score of 2-1.